Hi guys, welcome to book club number 35 of A Radical Awakening. Come on in, let's talk. Hi guys, tell me if you have read the book. What's your aha? What is your inspiration? Good to see you all. Hi, Amy Cassidy. Hi, Commit to Awesome. I love these Instagram names, these handles. Good to see you all. Sweet love. Iridescent zeal. I love it. Explore your life now. I love all these names. Good to see you all. Okay, so today in book club number 35, I'm going to just talk about this idea of living in the present moment and how it's often misunderstood. So what does it mean to live in the present moment? And how does one cultivate this awareness of present moment existence? What does it really mean? What does it really look like? How do you cultivate it? How do you develop it? And how do you know you are in the present moment? So just for you all to know, I have 2 meditation courses, 52 hours each, where I teach from my language and my way of teaching difficult concepts of meditation. I teach Vipassana meditation and I really break it down. And all these courses of mine are at a 50% discount. So if you go to drshefali.com and go to courses and choose a meditation course or a growth course or an intimacy course, tons of parenting courses, they are all at 50% off. You use the coupon SAVE, SAVE 50. That's what you do. Okay, present moment living. Many meditators who practice meditation take a long time to really drop in. It's called dropping in. What does that mean? It means leaving the mind and truly staying in the body. Not only is that a challenge, it's really hard for the meditator to take the lessons from the mat to real life. You've heard that saying, oh my goodness, off the mat. Take it off the mat into real life, meaning don't just practice beautiful things on the mat. Can you take it into real life? It is extremely difficult. When I became a parent and I saw myself reactive to my child, even though I had been meditating by that time for almost 9 years, I was shocked that I was still so reactive. I was like, what is wrong with me? I was hard on myself. I didn't know. I thought something was wrong with me because how could I have reactivity to a beautiful infant or a toddler? I don't think I had reactivity right away, but by the time I got tired at 9 months, 10 months, ask any mom, you're really reactive. And you feel terrible because you know it's not the child. You know there's something messed up in your wiring. And you're like, how? Why? And for me, it was even more implausible because I was very attached to being a meditator. And then I realized, I have not been taking the lessons off the mat into real life. My beauty was just on the mat. And now I was being tested. I was really being tested. And that's when the inspiration for this book, The Conscious Parent, look at this stock image, came about. I still remember writing this book. And that's when I realized, wow, I am not in the present moment with my child. So where am I? I'm in my own pain body, as Eckhart would say. I am in my own quest for significance. I'm in my own power trip. I'm not here. And that epiphany was so shocking to me because I was a meditator that I went and wrote the book, The Conscious Parent. And I realized that if I'm not here, having meditated, a PhD student, how can other parents hope to be here? It's so hard. So to be in the present moment, and no one teaches us this better than either a lot of physical pain, where you have to be in the present moment because your pain body of the pain, actual pain, is pulling you into your pain, or children, infants, toddlers. Why? Because toddlers are always in the time zone of the present moment. I say children are the gurus of living in the present moment. Children live in the time zone of the present, adults live in the time zone of the past and the future, mainly the future. So if you want to have a guru of present moment living, it is parenthood. It is the child, right? Those are the gurus of present moment living, the parenting experience and the child. So the capacity that children have to live in the present moment only can occur when you begin to understand that you have, and I'm just saying this simplistically, you have two parts of you. You have the false part of you and the true part. Okay, I'm just talking simple to break it down. There's no real false self that you can go, oh, here it is. It's a concept. It's a way of understanding your psyche, yes? My daughter used to, when she was young, when I used to tell her to look within, she used to do this. Like, where, Mom? Where? She used to really look. So to speak to that understanding that this is not like a false self that you can cut out and a true self. They all merge into the understanding of the psyche. It's just trying to understand. When we wake up to the realization that our thoughts come from beliefs, and our beliefs come from outside, then we can begin to understand that those thoughts and beliefs, and therefore feelings, are produced, are engineered, are constructed, are conditioned, are bought, are traded, are indoctrinated. Yes, use all these words to help you understand that they were not authentically arising from you. When you meditate and you go on your breath, and on your breath, and on your breath. That's the meditation that I learned, called Vipassana, that I teach in those courses, in Dr. Shefali style. When you keep coming back to the breath, you at one point develop awareness of your thoughts coming in and leaving. When you become aware of your thoughts, you realize, oh, I am not my thoughts. I am the thinker of my thoughts. Then when you become a more profound meditator, you become the watcher of the thinker of the thoughts. Now you're watching yourself thinking of the thoughts. And then as you become more profound in meditation, you become the witnesser of the watcher of the thinker of the thoughts. This is called awareness of the awareness of the awareness of the awareness. So what I'm talking now, it sounds total lunacy to you, doesn't it? It may. Because I'm trying to explain a process that you cannot really explain until you experience the process. But what happens in meditation is the awareness of the awareness of the awareness. No, I'm kidding. What happens in meditation is that you become aware that your thoughts are engineered. And when that moment happens, that you have this pause, this space between yourself and the thinking and the thoughts, and therefore the feelings, now you have the power to take your mind into your own direction, into your own choices. Now you have entered the first level of cracking the matrix. You've left the matrix. You're like, wow, I can just watch my thoughts come and go. And that's why journaling is so important, meditation is so important, talking to a therapist is so important. Because when you begin to ad-lib talk, right, Freudian psychoanalysis was brilliant for his time because he just made the client free-float associate on their back. Why? Because let it just come out unbidden for the client to become the witnesser, and the analyst is the watcher of the witnesser, and they can begin to see the patterns. But if you inhibit yourself and control yourself, then you've entered inauthenticity. So the capacity to watch your thoughts unbidden is very revealing. So when that happens, you now have realized, wow, I don't have to keep thinking that thought. The thought keeps coming, but I don't have to keep thinking the thought. Then I don't have to keep watching the thinker of the thought. Then I don't have to be the witness of the watcher of the thought. I can leave that thought. And guess what? When you leave thoughts alone, I'm telling you, it's an amazing phenomenon. They leave. Try it. When the thought comes, I want to be better at X. I am not good enough. Have the thought, I'm not good enough, which you must have at least once a week. I'm not good enough. I need to be better at this. I need to be better at that. Have the thought. Okay? Now, watch the thought. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. But don't think anything about the thought. Just watch the thought. I know it's so hard what I'm saying. Anyway, if you just watch the thought, guess what? The thought leaves. Okay, so how is this related to present moment? What I just talked about is meditation, and it is the experience of meditation. So I also, by the way, if you don't want to pay for my meditation, I do have, I don't know how many hundreds of free meditations that I did for my Viral Wisdom 2020 free stuff that I gave away during COVID. I also did 72 sessions like these called Viral Wisdom, all for free. There's 70 something of those, and there are over 170 of free meditations. But the link for those will be put up by my assistant, both on Facebook and Instagram. And you guys can take free meditations. Take it. Do it. They're very, very good. I mean, they're not as amazing as my course, but they're pretty damn good. And they were about, within the crisis of the pandemic. So present moment living can only occur when you are not the thought, when the thought is not you. Because if you are in the thought, like you're fully your depression, you're fully your anger, you're fully your anxiety, you've lost present moment living. So most of us live not only in our emotions, we live in our beliefs. We're constantly mental here, and we don't drop, right? I say we don't take the elevator from the head to the heart. We're stuck here. In fact, we leave the heart at every possible moment of threat. This is not living in the present moment. This is just thinking about the present moment. So many people, when they meditate, they're only thinking. They're not meditating. To meditate means not thinking. You're having thoughts, but you're not thinking. You're watching the thought, but you're on the breath, on the breath. It's a very powerful experience. And although I cannot force anyone to meditate, I can let you know that if you do, your life will change. That's all I'm going to say. So meditation is the awareness that you are not your thoughts, and you are not even the thinker of the thoughts, you are not even the watcher, you're not even the witnesser, you are an energy beyond all of it. Now you are capable of staying here now. Because when the thought comes to pull you into the past or the present, you're like, no, I'm here now, I'm here right now. This is where I'm at. And you're capable of coming back to the present moment. Now, again, present moment living doesn't mean inaction. It doesn't mean you don't pay your bill for your mortgage for next month. It doesn't mean you don't plan for your kids' college and start saving. It just means that you're fully aware right now of the writing on the wall for the future as well. But you're not in the future, you're here now. What do I need to do now for the future to come into fruition? So I know what's in the future, and then I backtrack to what is in the now. And I only can take care of what is in the now. What can I do right now? And entering the breath of action without attachment. But it is taking action in the now. It is taking action in the now. It is seeing and being present in the now. You cannot not be present, yes? So when parents come to me and they ask for advice, they often confuse consciousness and present moment living with apathy, with denial, with hoping, with wishing, wanting, desiring. No. That is not present moment living. That is denial, hoping, wishing, and apathy. Present moment living is fully here right now, penetrating reality as much as you can with the level of consciousness you can, willing to change your life as it needs to change right here, right now, not waiting for tomorrow to be better when there's no evidence of tomorrow being better in the now. So when parents come to me, they get confused. And I tell them, no, that is a red flag behavior. Your kid is smoking crack and marijuana. We don't wait. We take action. So many people confuse present moment living with, forgiveness. They think, you should just forgive everything. You should just let everybody just smoke and be merry. That is not present moment living. I'm not saying you shouldn't forgive. I'm just saying present moment living is very much about cause and effect. It's very much about, what's next? In the logical, okay, if a tiger comes at you and you're in present moment living, what, you're going to just sit there? No, you're going to freaking get up and run. And that's okay. It's okay to have cause and effect. So if somebody comes and slaps you in present moment living and really hurts you, what, you're not supposed to say, what the F? No, maybe not. You're not supposed to say, ouch? You're not supposed to defend yourself? No, that's not present moment living. Somebody asked the Dalai Lama about this when I went for one of his talks, and something to the effect, he said, if a mosquito bites me, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to swat it. Very simple. People think present moment living is turn the other cheek. No, why? You don't have to you don't need to be slapped. No, you're not an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Don't escape your mind. That's not what it is. It's about discerning with presence, what action do I need to take now? If you see a kitten being kicked by an idiot, you go and you take care of the kitten. You jump into action. You don't have to kill the person who was kicking the kitten. You don't have to go bananas. You don't have to ruin your mood. But you must take action. You must see reality for what it is. And it's okay to have cause and effect. So people think, a few times, I like to exaggerate to get comfort. But definitely more than a few times. People used to tell me, how can you charge? I thought you were spiritual. Or they'd agree on a certain fee with me. I do the thing. And then they're like, can you show grace? Can you show grace? You agreed on something, but I need to show grace, because their idea of a spiritual person is that the person needs to be an idiot suddenly, No. Wisdom is not about being a fool. It's about being very present to the causes and effects. So if somebody comes and takes your phone out of your hand and you're trying to be conscious, please don't be an idiot. Keep the phone. Try to get your phone back. Report it to the police. It's okay. You live in a form-based world. And like I said in one of my past talks, one finger is form. So you do whatever that one finger needs. But you don't need to let it eat your day or your life or your mood or kill your spirit. But you take action in cause and effect. Now, finding the effect is not easy, right? You have to be aligned, present. So because a parent could say, well, the kid dropped ketchup on my pillowcase and I told the kid not to go on the bed. So the parent can say, well, the effect for that is I ground them in the cellar. And the parent is like, that's my cause and effect. So it's tricky, yes? Because everyone thinks they're doing wonderful cause and effect. No one thinks they're overreacting, raving, raging lunatics, right? Every parent who disciplines their kid thinks the kid deserved it. They'll never say, I'm out of control, I'm a lunatic, I'm a moron, I'm an idiot. No. Parents will never say that. Parents will say, the kid deserved it and I'm doing the kid a favor, I'm educating the kid. So cause and effect is also something bandied about and thrown, and it's really dangerous. So first cause and effect is going to happen whether you like it or not. I'm talking about conscious cause and effect. So say somebody, quote unquote, does something wrong to you. Now you have to sit in it and find the right aligned effect of the cause, because you have to remember that your effect is going to cause something else. So wise people sit with it before they move, but they don't wait in hope, and they don't dismiss in denial, and they don't just passively, lackadaisically dream and fantasize. They are just waiting for the right effect to show up, for the right action to be taken, because they are aware that their effect will cause the next cause. So cause and effect is the principle of the universe. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. But you want to consciously, volitionally enter that matrix of cause and effect. But many people think they are in conscious cause and effect, especially parents. But they're really just in revenge and tantrum and unconscious rage. Cause and effect can only be come upon, conscious cause and effect, through a very discerning, trained, disciplined mind. It takes time. So in my own life, when people have done me wrong a few times, I have to really sit with it, to think about what effect do I want to participate in. Because whatever effect I want to participate in is going to have causes within me, within others, and do I feel like that is going to be worthy in my life? So this is a very pause-filled, contemplative, careful discerning. It is not a blind reactivity. It's actually torture, because the blind reactivity is actually yummy and lovely in the moment. Like you just want to go wring their neck, slap their face, throw a book, rage at them. So satisfying. And sometimes you may need to do a piece of it, but that's not conscious, yes? Conscious cause and effect is to express yourself with the highest level of choice. When we react, we are out of choice. When we react, the other person has the power, unfortunately. But sometimes a good yell is okay, yeah? Sometimes if somebody is really pissed on you, you can yell. It's okay. But just know it's you. It's all coming from you. Nothing to do with the other person. So when we are in pause, we are allowing the present moment to speak to us. When we are in the pause, we are allowing ourselves to be an echo of life. What is life asking from me right now? Where do I need to go next? So eating according to presence, sending emails with presence. I am a very quick reactor. Very quick. I remember once a dear friend told me that when people ask you a question in a conference, at least pretend to think about it. I don't even wait for them to finish, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Sit with it. Maybe a better answer will come. I'm like, okay, I'll sit with it. Very hard. So you know this too. When you want to send an email, you want to react, you want to get your will enforced. So what I've learned to do, because I like the part in me that's quick fire, I write it out in the moment, but I have learned now not to press send. And then I minimize it near the trash can and I let it sit there. And most likely what happens is, after literally 30, 40 minutes, certainly by the next day, I don't want to send it anymore because I've processed it. So find ways to circumvent blind reactivity. Do what works for you, but do it, because blind reactivity sets off causes and effects that are vitriolic, vituperative, dangerous, scandalous, toxic, and it'll bite you in your own ass. So I've done that so many times where my own reaction has gotten back to me like a boomerang, cause and effect, I'm like, damn it. So now I've learned to have wisdom, a little bit at least. So being in the present moment means to see your reactivity and step away from your reactivity. Beautiful. Karina says, when I'm writing something, I pause and I ask my higher self if to send it or not. Amazing, Karina. Now, what she just said is the art of inner contemplation, inner witnessing, inner awareness. That takes time. That comes from the mindset that time is limitless. That it is more important for you to arrive at the right answer than to be right. You understand? The reaction wants to be right. The wisdom wants the right answer to come. And the right answer serves the highest good for all, even if it is telling the other person no. Or taking the other person to the police station. Or, returning the food or whatever it is. It sits with the question, what is for the highest good of all? What does this moment require from me? So especially in parenting, you want to ask, what does my child need from me right now? Does my child need connection or does my child need control? And the answer is always control. Connection. Is always connection. Just the other day, I wasn't in a conscious place with my own child and I matched her adolescent vibration lovelily. And she was being an adolescent and I said, I'll be one too. And within moments, I was like, what are you doing, Shefali? You know better than this. If she's acting a fool, what are you telling her not to act a fool, but you're doing it like a fool, right? Parents are like, don't you yell at me. And they're even worse than the kid. We parents do this. So I'm telling my daughter, don't be a fool, but literally I'm doing it in the most foolish way. I'm screaming, don't be a fool. Don't scream at me while I'm screaming, right? Every parent does this. It's an uncanny reflex. So then I realized I'm just reacting. So then I went and, nurtured the moment back into soul, into heart, entered my heart and ate humble pie and entered connection. So asking, what does this moment require of me? How can I connect? The answer is always connection. How to get there now? How to get there is to detach from your thoughts, detach from the thinking, detach from the belief systems, detach from the feelings. And that doesn't mean you don't have feelings, doesn't mean you have to bypass, but you have to learn to understand that all that comes from you. Detachment doesn't mean non-feeling, non-caring. Detachment means detaching from the idea that it's you and detaching from the idea that it's the other. It is conditioned. Now, as long as you know that, you can say, I'm having a really conditioned depression. I can't get out of this conditioned depression. I know it's conditioned, but it's bloody depressing and I can't get out of it. That's beautiful. It's hard to get out of the conditioning, but at least recognize it's conditioning, right? At least have the possibility to understand it is not fated by the Almighty. It is coming from your conditioning. So present moment living means being aware as much as you can of your conditioned self and allowing yourself to speak to life. What does life need from me right now? What does life show me right now? What am I not seeing about life or myself right now? What am I deeply attached to from yesterday or for tomorrow? How can I respond in the highest possible way right now? How can I discern what is the clearest course of action? How can I stay in my highest good and the highest good of all? How can I enter this difficult or traumatic phase with presence for myself? If I need to cry, I can cry. If I need to be angry, I can be angry. But how can I understand that this is conditioned and I will arrive at stillness? So present moment awareness is always returning to the present moment and realizing it is a conditioned you, not the real you. And discovering what that conditioning is the key to present moment existence. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next book club. Bye.